Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the LuxTag Podcast. I'm Shafira, and this is my co host, Iman.
Hello, everyone.
And the purpose of us creating this podcast is to educate people about the latest trends in IT, such as blockchain, NFT, and as well as other technology. There's a lot of things on the internet that people are still so confused about. Hence, why we make this podcast so that you'll have a clear understanding of what's going on.
Also, for our first episode, we're going to talk about everything blockchain. What is it? Should you care about it? How it works? And what are the benefits that you can gain from it? So, without further ado, let's start this discussion. You must have heard about blockchain or came across it on the internet, whether it's on the news or maybe heard someone talk about it. But what is it exactly? Most people usually confuse or associate this technology, blockchain, with Bitcoin. So those who have no interest at all in forex trading or using Bitcoin always think, this is irrelevant to me. Why should I learn about a technology that I'm not going to use? But how far is that from the truth?
Well, the first thing that people should understand is Bitcoin and blockchain. They are two separate matters. Bitcoin is cryptocurrency and blockchain is the technology behind it. So let's say if you're cooking and the blockchain is the pan and the pancake is your Bitcoin. However, I do get why people are so confused because these two are often associated with each other. And the reason behind it is that Bitcoin was the first practical applications of blockchain. So to put it in a simple way, blockchain is a technology, a system that allows people to make transactions with conditions agreed by both parties, without any intermediaries involved, like banks or third person. And the cool thing about it is that the transactions can be verified, confirmed, and viewed by anyone in the same network. And again, as I said just now, there's no need for intermediaries. And currently, there are many other cryptocurrency platforms aside from Bitcoin with more advanced protocols like Ethereum, Litecoin, and also NAM.
And also talking about NamNam is actually the blockchain that LuxTag uses. And thank you, Shafir, for the great explanation. I think you made it very simple, like explain it in a very simple way. But the main thing that I want people to understand is that blockchain is not limited to the financial sector only. It can be applied in many, many other sectors. And I do believe wholeheartedly that the potential of blockchain is boundless. In fact, just recently, there is a Singaporean firm which called Tada, TADA. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. So this company actually applied blockchain technology for its non-commission ride-hailing service, which resulted in lower charges. So imagine how happy the customers are. And not just that, besides the transaction, you can actually record anything into the blockchain, whether it's tangible or intangible. For instance, it can be houses, cash, cars, or something as even like intangible as a tweet. Imagine recording it, how amazing it is, like to record a tweet into the blockchain. And like to put it very simply, like to explain the concept of blockchain very simply, just imagine it as a ledger book. However, instead of writing these transactions into pages, they are recorded into blocks. And each block can only fit a limited number of transactions. Again, just like pages, once a page is filled, you flip it off and start on another page. That's literally how the concept of blocks work. So back to our main question, should you care about blockchain? It is like the answer is an absolute yes.
Now, let's talk about how blockchain actually works. The most special thing about blockchain is that it uses cryptography to verify every transactions, and plus cryptography is like a very, very difficult mathematical puzzle that can only be solved with the helps of computers. Well, in fact, the puzzle is so hard that the computer must be very powerful, and it has like to consume a lot of electricity, and that plays a huge role in why blockchain is very secure.
And yes, besides that, like blockchain has so much importance, especially for business people. And the reason why is that blockchain is decentralized. Why is that important? So the ownership does not fall into a single authority and there is no intermediary. Again, as Shafira mentioned before. So, blockchain does not store any of its information in a central location. Instead, the blockchain is copied and spread across a network of computers. And whenever a new block is added to the blockchain, every computer on that network updates its blockchain to reflect that change. Plus, being decentralized do promote fairness. And what do I mean with that? Basically, as long as you have internet access, you can view, make, and if you have a computer that's very powerful, you can verify transactions into the blockchain. In the blockchain. And this is regardless of your nationality, religion, age. So anyone can actually start using this technology.
Well, besides, another importance of it is very private and confidential. The main idea behind Satoshi's invention of Bitcoin is the first place was to make online monetary transactions without the bank knowing how much money does he had or the purpose of his transactions. And with blockchain, nobody can know your job or your monthly income from the transactions. Thanks to its so called pseudonymity, it just simply means that you don't need to register a blockchain address as belonging to you. And also, since the blockchain is immutable, it gives opportunity for platforms that need immutable trace to make their systems more functional in a highly competitive market. For instance, the supply chain. It enables company to ensure that there is no hamper done to the package while during the transit. As blockchain is immutable, it is not possible to alter the package information in any way, but in fact, any alteration will alarm the system.
And also, besides the supply chain, there is even more use cases. For instance, we as LuxTag, we use blockchain for anti-counterfeit solution. Our recently launched product, which is BrandTag, with a SaaS product, software as a service, it was created to help businesses against the threat of counterfeit. And again, all using blockchain. Or even like we have another application, which is, software, which is eScroll, and it aids into fighting fake credentials. In case you have any interest in these products, you can just go and check it out on our website, luxtag.io. Moving on, the last aspect that we are getting into about blockchain is on how secure it is. We talked about blockchain being decentralized, immutable, and how private and confidential. But now let's talk about its amazing security, which is why the reason why many people are interested into blockchain in the first place. So every transaction into the blockchain must be digitally signed by both parties who made those transactions. And once the transaction is confirmed, everyone in the network keeps a record of that transaction itself. So for example, if me and Shafira did a transaction, both of us need to sign it digitally. And once that transaction is recorded, nobody can change it, while everyone can still check it and verify it. So if someone wants to hack the system, he or she has to change every single transaction record available before the system even notices. So it is roughly impossible to hack. Besides, the transparency of the recorded transactions also protects the community members from fraud and corruption, since everyone can see the records. It will be hard to conduct corruption without being noticed. Plus, you save the risk of private information leaks. And why is that? Because there is no need to share them in the first place. I can talk on and on about blockchain and the greatness it can bring, but I guess this much should suffice for today, right, Shafira?
Yes, that's right. And obviously, there's so much more to blockchain and its application. But we hope this episode helped you understand what is blockchain and why there's so much hype surrounding it. And plus, if you want to know more about blockchain, do check out our blog post at luxtag.io, where we go into details about the use of blockchain. And there's a lot of interesting topics that we have covered. And do not forget that we will also provide the link in the bio so you can just go straight there and it will lead to
Yeah,
our
and
web.
besides that, not only about blockchain, we do cover a lot of topics on our blog posts. And please do follow us as well on our social media. We are available on all platforms. And you can get access to the latest updates, not only about Luxtab, but about the latest trends, industry, IT related matters. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in for our first episode. And yeah, hope it was educational and beneficial for you. See you in our next episode. Bye.
Thank you and bye.